Do-do-do. Do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do. Greetings. How are you doing? I was out in the wilderness all day yesterday, walking around, exercising a lot. I overdid it a little bit. I actually wanted to, interesting, these came in the mail from England, right at the time I wanted to make this video. I want to show you these. These are really cute. There's a guy, his wife in England, crocheted these together, one of Einstein, the other one of Nikola Tesla. I actually feel embarrassed because he said it took his wife 7 hours to make these, and when you look at them, I can see why it took her that many hours. There's a lot of crocheting in these. I didn't think you could crochet stuff with that much detail, but I guess you can. You got to admit they're really, really cute. But it's talking about two different, and I never discuss religions really, but it is two types of religions. One is based in ether physics, and the other one is based in nonsensical, illogical atomism. And there have ever only been two foundations postulated about the nature of reality, or natura naturans, or cosmic foundations, ever in history. There's never been more than two. One is in illogical atomism, and the other one is in ether physics. Never been anything other than those two. I've often wondered, actually at great length, how the world would look if, because all creationistic religions sprang from one. Christianity sprang from it, and another religion which I won't name because YouTube listens to everything that you say. Anyway, all creationistic religions sprang from one. I wonder what would happen if Neoplatonic and Gnostic metaphysics had actually dominated the world. We'd actually have a rational world that would be free, mostly free, from strife and hardships like war and countless other things. But human beings being the ignorant creatures that they are, we now have a world that's dominated by creationistic beliefs. And the same is true, and it really is a belief system. You know, it is. You can either believe in curved space-time, a la this fool. And this guy actually did postulate a religion. I mean, most people are taught to believe in this crazy, insane belief system. I don't care what anybody believes. I only care what follows Occam's razor, what is logical, factual, and, you know, follows common sense. And we have rational physics based upon the ether. We have, and of course, Nikola Tesla wasn't the first person to postulate it, obviously so. Nikola Tesla said, and I've given a quote, the notion of a charge-carrying particle, i.e. the electron, is an absurdity. And of course it is. The principle of the electron obviously does exist, but it's not a particle. There's no such thing as a photon. All the stuff that you and I, you know, grew up watching, like Star Trek and all these other idiotic science fiction movies where every problem was a particle problem and there was a particle solution. Sir, we've got too many gravitons in the forward nacelle. Well, we'll use some negative momentum tachyon particles to fix that problem. By this fool and the people that believe in this fool's belief system, you know, Mother Nature is just this crazy, cross-eyed lunatic with a bag of bumping particles. You can't explain instantaneous action at a distance with particles. You can't explain EPR paradox with particles. You can't explain wireless power induction, in a vacuum no less, with particles. You can't explain anything with particles. There's no such thing as a photon particle. I mean, it breaks the law of conservation of energy if you think that light slows down, which it does. The actual rate of induction changes when it passes through water or glass or countless other medium, and then speeds back up again. It breaks the law of conservation of energy. The only way you could explain light itself, and these people, the people that follow the belief system and the religion of this fool, they will tell you that everything is particles. They actually, excuse me, I meant to say, since I'm thinking about 1,000 things at once, that their belief system is based upon their understanding of the nature of light. Well, light doesn't have a speed at all. There's no such thing as a speed of light. That so-called speed is a rate of induction. Light is not an emission. It's an ether perturbation. This is the reason why Tesla and other rational, wise, intelligent scientists said that light is like a sound wave in the ether, which it is, because sound is not emitted when I speak and the microphone picks up the sound. I'm not emitting sound. I'm actually setting up a vibration in the nitrogen and oxygen. Nothing on this earth or anywhere emits sound. An emission is this. It leaves here and it goes there. Light, just like sound, is not an emission. It's a perturbation. In other words, I actually set up a perturbation in the medium. That medium, of course, is the ether. These people don't believe in the ether. However, they talk about it all the time in veiled terms. They'll talk about quantum foam, dark energy. They've got about a dozen different euphemisms for the ether, because they know that particle physics can't explain the nature of the universe. Anyway, light's not an emission, just like sound is not an emission. The speed of sound is the rate of propagation, and the speed of sound, too, changes depending on whether the subject is moving. You know about the Doppler effect. The Doppler effect, of course, exists for light also. But the generic speed of sound, of course, is the perturbation of the air, the maximum rate of propagation, the speed of sound. Light is exactly the same thing. Light is not an emission. It doesn't travel. It doesn't move from point A to point B. Nothing emits light. It sets up a perturbation in the ether. Yeah? Sound is not an emission either. This is the reason why Tesla and Charles Proteus Steinmetz and Maxwell talked about light being a vibration, a sound wave in the ether, I think is the exact quote. So we actually have two different belief systems here. This one is rational. It follows Occam's razor. It's logical. It's intelligent. It paints natura naturans, or Mother Nature, as hyper-rational and hyper-simplex. This belief system is convoluted poppycock, twaddle, nonsense, foolishness. It makes Mother Nature out. This notion of traveling particles, they even think, and to make, by their own admission, make their equations balance out, they will tell you, this is not me, this is them saying this. They think that a magnet is emitting virtual photons. These have never been the input or output of any experiment ever done. It's illogical, it's irrational, it's nonsensical, it completely stomps all over Occam's razor. It can't exist that way. You can't explain wireless power induction. You can't explain instantaneous action at a distance. These people have no idea what gravity is, the phenomena of gravity. The phenomena of gravity obviously exists. We could actually talk about the nature of gravity and the parameters of gravity, but this phenomena obviously exists. But what is this phenomena? These guys, and it's okay, this is actually one of the few things that I'll commend them for, they will tell you flat out they have no idea what gravity is, the phenomena of gravity. They think they got a firm hold on everything, but the two foundations of reality, even from the ancient Greeks have fought with their foolish atomists also. You only have two belief systems. One is based upon rational ether physics, and the other one is based upon magic bumping particles and virtual photons, which have never, ever existed. It's a completely irrational conceptualization of a phenomenon that they don't understand. What's this stuff going on outside of a magnet? Well, that's just an ether. Actually, that's what's going on, is the ether is reacting to the field, the point source field, which is ab extra to the actual subject itself, the physical magnet. That's what fascinates people about magnets, is that the field phenomena is ab extra to the magnet. Well, that's the ether. The same ether that gives you light, the same ether that gives you wireless power induction, the same ether that's a rational explanation for the entire universe. These people have come up with thousands of imaginary creatures, gravitons, photons, electrons, charm quarks, up quark, down quark, tachyon. They've come, virtual photons is my favorite, a completely imaginary particle used to explain what goes on in a specific abnormal or strange field phenomena, like magnets, for example. This is irrational nonsense. This, however, is hyperlogical. I love using these little crocheted dolls. These little crocheted dolls have been great little... And my kid's holding his dolls. I really appreciate your wife for making these. I mean, I could see how long it took her to crochet these. They're actually... The Tesla one is definitely genius. Even though I'm no fan of Einstein. I love the fluffy, furry... you can see some of the material fuzzing off. It's kind of cute, even though I'm no fan of Einstein. This is pretty cute. Anyway, this was my puppet video. I was planning on making this video anyway. It's just two different belief systems. You can believe in nonsensical, and I don't care what anybody believes. I only care about the truth and what is logical and wise. Two different belief systems. One is a belief system for unintelligent people, and the other one is for those that have a mind that, says that this is logical and this makes sense, and it's simplex. Mother Nature is simplex. Well, simple, not simplex, simple. This is convoluted nonsense. This twaddle, this belief system, has infested and corrupted the minds of endless billions of people that believe in this craziness. You just can't. You can't have a half a brain and believe in this nonsense. Because it's not real. It's science fiction. At best, it's poor science fiction. Science fiction does love to use it, though. Imagine a science fiction movie based upon the ether physics of Nikola Tesla and those like him. Imagine that. Wouldn't it be great if Hollywood started following, the rational physics of Nikola Tesla instead of this crackpot? And by the way, Nikola Tesla called this guy a fuzzy-haired crackpot. And Nikola Tesla was right. I hope you like this video. If you do, always check the link below. Any help is always appreciated because I don't sell anything. And any donation is always greatly welcome. Thank you so much. Goodbye.